The neon lights of the Onyx Bistro hummed, casting a purple glow on my untouched plate. 4 hours. For damn hours I'd been sitting there, scrolling through my phone, rereading the reservation text from Liam. It was my birthday, for crying out loud. Then I saw it. A new post on Scarlett's Instagram. A blurry photo of Liam, lounging on a plush velvet couch, a half-eaten burger on the coffee table in front of him. The caption read, "My safe haven. Red heart hash." Past me would have seen red. I would have called, yelled, demanded answers. But tonight, a weird calm settled over me. This was the 101st time he'd stood me up. I was numb. My thumbs moved almost on their own, typing out a simple text. "We're done. Goodbye." His immediate, frantic call was almost comical. Liam had made this reservation a month ago. Just last month, on Brittany's birthday, he'd taken her to the beach to watch the sunrise. I'd confronted him, furious, and he'd scoffed, calling me paranoid. It was a group thing, not just us two, he'd insisted, and we'd gone silent for 2 weeks. Yesterday, he'd sent me a screenshot of the bistro reservation. A peace offering, I knew. Our dance, always the same. I'd be the first to break the silence, to reach out. He'd butter me up with a small gift, a little extra attention, and I'd melt, forgetting the sting of his neglect, ready to dive back into our chaotic connection. He'd slap me, then hand me an apple, and I'd forget the slap, always chasing the sweetness. Our relationship was a pendulum, swinging wildly, completely under his control. He pulled my strings, a master manipulator of my emotions. It was my own fault, really. I was so fixated on the sweet bits, ignoring the bitter truth. I was pathetically in love. But yesterday, seeing that reservation screenshot, the usual thrill wasn't there. Before, just him remembering my birthday was enough to send me over the moon. Every year, I'd remind him daily for weeks leading up to it, just so he'd remember to buy a gift. This year, I'd completely forgotten my own birthday. So when his text popped up yesterday after work, it was a genuine surprise. "Got it. See you tomorrow night at the Onyx." I'd replied, then put my phone down, the familiar warmth of his kindness conspicuously absent. I arrived at the Onyx Bistro at 6:30 p.m, 30 minutes early for our 7 p.m. reservation. By 8 p.m, no Liam. I called. No answer. Texted. Nothing. At 9:30 p.m, the waiter politely asked if I wanted my steak brought out. The restaurant closed at 10:30 p.m. I nodded, slowly savored my medium-rare ribeye, sipping the red wine. At 10:30 p.m, I walked out, stood by the curb, and hailed a cab. That's when I saw Scarlett's Instagram post. "Here's my safe haven." The photo of Liam on the couch. And in that moment, there was no anger, no self-pity, no heartbreak. Just a strange sense of accomplishment. I knew it. I always knew it. Every time he bailed, it was for Scarlett. And the oddest thing, it didn't hurt. I went home, showered, and climbed into bed. Deep in sleep, the click of the front door woke me. Liam. A flicker of annoyance that my sleep was disturbed. I kept my eyes shut, feigning sleep, not wanting to deal with him. His footsteps stopped by the bed. A long, silent pause. Even with my eyes closed, I could feel his gaze on me. What the hell is wrong with him? Get a shower, go to bed. Why is he staring? It's creepy. He should be happy I'm not throwing a fit, lights on, waiting for him in the living room like before. Back then, when I'd lose it, even go wild, he'd just stare, cold, disgusted, his eyes full of impatience, looking down at me like I was a pathetic clown. In the past, when our fights were about Scarlett, he'd at least offer some flimsy excuse, claiming they were just friends, that I was overreacting. Later, he wouldn't even bother. He'd just let my emotions explode like a volcano, then slowly fizzle out. Now, I saw things clearly. I'd let go. Looking back, I truly was crazy. The way I'd melt down must have been ugly. No wonder Liam hated it. Tonight, there was no urge to question, to confront, only to sleep. After a long moment of silence, Liam finally spoke, a soft "Jess." I remained motionless, feigning sleep. Eventually, I heard the bathroom door close, the shower running. The gentle sound lulled me back to sleep. I didn't even know when he climbed into bed. The next morning, I got up and went to work, burying myself in tasks. The day flew by. After work, I grabbed a quick dinner outside before heading home. Liam was on the couch when I walked in. "Home early today?" I asked, kicking off my shoes. "No overtime," he mumbled. I nodded, hung my bag, and headed for my home office. "Jess," Liam called, stopping me. "Your birthday gift. I got it ages ago." "Thanks," I said, taking the small, elegant box. Inside was a beautiful bracelet. "It's lovely. I really like it. I'll wear it tomorrow." As I turned to walk away, he caught my arm. "Jess, I'm sorry about yesterday. I got held up. I was almost at the bistro when Scarlett called. Her ex-boyfriend was stalking her again. She was scared. She's alone, a girl, it just wasn't safe." "I believe you," I cut him off. "It's true, she shouldn't have to deal with that alone. Her ex is a total psycho. You've told me before. Anyway, I've got some work to do. I'll be in my office." "Jess," he still held my arm. "Huh?" I looked at him, confused. "You haven't eaten." "Oh, I ate. You should order something." I pulled my arm free and went into my office. Moments later, I heard the front door slam. Liam was gone. He'd offered the peace treaty, and I hadn't taken it. He was pissed. Another silent treatment began. Before, these cold wars would plunge me into despair, racking my brain for ways to make up. Now, a few days in, I felt lighter. Liam was sleeping in the guest room. I was relishing the luxury of a whole bed to myself, sleeping better than ever. I didn't need to wake up early to make his breakfast, gaining an extra half hour of sleep. At work, my mind wasn't constantly drifting to Liam, no endless texts. My productivity soared. Tasks that used to drag until quitting time were now finished early. I was too lazy to cook after work. I'd taught myself to be a pretty good cook, all to ensure Liam ate healthy. But he was always out, sometimes only coming home for dinner twice a week. Without Liam as my orbit, I discovered so much free time. I finished an entire TV series in 3 nights. At the office, a new intern mentioned she was studying for a professional certification. I felt a pang of shame. This young woman, fresh out of college, was already striving to improve herself, and here I was, years into my career, still drifting, aimless. I blamed myself. My past was a blur of blind devotion. My dream since graduation was to marry Liam. That dream was still unfulfilled. The most important thing in my life, I used to believe, was revolving around Liam. I'd even imagined that if he asked me to be a stay-at-home wife after we married, I'd agree without hesitation. Marrying Liam, having kids, raising our little family, that was my definition of happiness, my dream life. Now, fully awake, I realized how much of a failure I'd been. Emotionally, I was a giving tree, constantly pouring myself out with nothing in return, not even a marriage promise. My career was a mess, stagnant. That young intern's drive ignited something in me. It was time to change. I humbly asked colleagues for advice, bought study materials, and started preparing for the certification exam. After work, I'd grab a quick meal, then head straight to my home office, studying until bedtime. Liam, still seemingly angry, came home late every night, which suited me fine. The quiet house was perfect for studying. During my lunch break, scrolling through my phone, I noticed Liam's rare update on social media. A single photo, no caption. It was a dining table set for 2, a few dishes, and in the corner, a hand with the watch I'd bought him. I knew Liam too well. He was deliberately posting a photo of him and Scarlett dining together to provoke me. But there was no anger, no jealousy, no urge to call and rage at him. I just glanced at it and moved on to other posts. In the afternoon, Liam called. "I'll pick you up after work." His voice was flat, devoid of emotion. My first instinct was to resist. "No need. I'm working late tonight," I lied instinctively. "Until when?" he pressed. "Around 8. I bit my lip. 8 p.m. "I'll wait downstairs for you," he said and hung up. To keep up the charade, I stayed at work after hours, pulling out my study materials. At 8 p.m., I packed up and headed downstairs. As I stepped out, I saw his familiar car parked a short distance away. I walked over and opened the passenger door. Scarlett was there, smiling. "Jess, I just had dinner with Liam. He's giving me a ride home." "Oh," I nodded, opening the back door and sliding in. If Scarlett was in the car, I never sat in the front passenger seat. I'd argued with Liam about it countless times, but he'd always sided with Scarlett. "She gets carsick in the back," he'd say. "Why are you being so petty?" I'd counter that the passenger seat was for his girlfriend, and he'd just mock me for being dramatic. I'd never won that battle, and each time, I'd be left feeling defeated and bitter. But now, I couldn't care less. I'd worked all day, then studied for 2 hours. I was exhausted, barely able to keep my eyes open. "Liam, that crawfish was amazing tonight. We have to go back again soon." Scarlett chirped. "Sure, if you like it, we can go back," Liam replied. "But peeling crawfish is a lot of work. You don't mind me doing it?" Scarlett giggled playfully. "No way. I'm used to it. Jess, you know Liam's amazing at peeling crawfish thanks to my training in college." She turned to me suddenly. "So, don't you think you should thank me?" "Thank you. For what?" "For training Liam to peel crawfish. But he'd never peeled a single one for me. I remembered once seeing a celebrity on TV say she loved crawfish but would rather go without than peel them herself. When I first dated Liam, I tried to coax him into peeling them for me. He'd stopped, looked at me, and smirked. "You don't have hands." The one who loves more is always the more pathetic. I'd shut up immediately, never bringing it up again. I looked at Scarlett. The car was dark, but I could still see the smugness and provocation in her eyes. She always did this, subtly needling me to get a reaction, waiting for Liam to lecture me and defend her. Over and over, tireless. But in this moment, she stirred nothing in me. I had no interest in her games. "Oh, right. Thanks," I said dismissively. Unsuccessful. Scarlett bit her lip and turned back to Liam, smiling. His voice, whenever he spoke to her, was always gentle. Listening to their animated conversation, my eyelids grew heavy. The sounds around me faded. When I woke, the car was parked downstairs. Liam was silently in the driver's seat. Scarlett was gone. Did we get home? Why didn't you wake me? I sat up, opened the door. Liam followed me out of the elevator and into the apartment, not saying a word. "Tired?" he finally asked. "Heh. You and Scarlett were chatting so much, and I fell asleep in the car." "Yeah, a little tired." I had no desire to talk to him. I just wanted to shower and sleep. Tonight, Dylan and some of the guys from the dorm invited me over. They called Scarlett too. You know how close they are. They always invite her when they go out. It was on the way back, so I gave her a ride. He suddenly started explaining himself. Odd. Before, when I'd asked why he was always hanging out with Scarlett, he wouldn't even bother. Now, I hadn't asked, and he was volunteering an explanation. "Okay," I nodded, walking into the bathroom. "I was going to pick you up, but you said you were working late. So I ate, then came to get you." He continued. "All right, I get it. I'm going to shower." I quickly hurried away. After my shower, I went to bed. The next evening, after work, I saw Liam downstairs again. This time, Scarlett wasn't in the car. I still got in the back seat. Liam turned, looked at me, as if wanting to say something, then thought better of it. Sitting in the back, it felt surprisingly good, like he was my chauffeur. I should have done this ages ago, not cared so much about the front seat. "Tonight, Mark invited us over for hot pot," Liam said as he started the car. Mark was another one of his college roommates. Coincidentally, all 4 of Liam's college roommates lived in the city after graduation. They were tight, always hanging out. Liam had pursued Scarlett in college, and his roommates had been his wingmen. Though he hadn't won her over, it hadn't affected Scarlett's relationship with them. Over the years, Scarlett had dated several guys, but she always said boyfriends are boyfriends, friends are friends. She claimed Liam would always be her best friend. Lately, after a recent breakup, Scarlett had been hanging out with them again. Every time I saw Liam doting on her, my blood pressure would spike. I'd fought, I'd screamed, but it changed nothing. Eventually, I stopped attending their gatherings. Out of sight, out of mind. You guys go. Drop me off at home first, I said. I had no interest in their get-together. We'll be home right after dinner. We won't stay out late. Mark specifically asked to see you, said it's been a while. Fine, I conceded. We pulled up to Mark's new house. He opened the door, and someone burst out, leaping onto Liam's back like a monkey, arms wrapped tightly around his neck. The movement was so sudden, Liam almost lost his footing, but he instinctively reached back to steady her. Ha ha. Liam, you're late. Punishment. 10 push-ups with me on your back. Scarlett shrieked triumphantly from behind him. Liam, having regained his balance, froze, then looked up at me. I saw a flicker of panic in his eyes. I just smiled. He looked stunned, then loosened his grip. Scarlett, caught off guard, slid to the floor. She playfully punched Liam, whining, "What was that for? You almost dropped me." Then she looked up, feigning surprise as if just noticing me. "Oh, Jess, you're here too. Liam and I used to do this all the time when we lost games. You don't mind, do you?" "No, not at all. You guys do whatever you want. Don't mind me. I'll just watch TV," I said, picking up the remote, seriously flipping through channels. "Oh, right. Jess, did you know Liam is amazing? He can do like 15 push-ups with me on his back." "Really? I've never seen that. Maybe you two should do it now, so I can see." I put the remote down, looking at them curiously. "I'll go help Mark in the kitchen." Liam suddenly stood, his face expressionless, and walked toward the kitchen. The rest of us sat in the living room, looking at each other. During Hot Pot, I sat to Liam's left, Scarlett to his right. I got a piece of lamb." Scarlett whined, tossing the offending piece into Liam's bowl. They often did things like this, crossing boundaries. The difference was, now, these actions didn't stir any emotion in me. Mark's cooking was actually pretty good. I just focused on eating, until I was stuffed. After dinner, Scarlett suggested playing games. I hadn't had time to study today, so I wanted to leave early. "You guys play. I'm going home." I stood up. "I'll go with you." Liam stood up too. "No need. You guys keep playing. I can just call a cab." I truly meant it. But for some reason, it irritated Liam. His face darkened. "Go home. Right now." His voice was stiff. "Well, I guess I'll go too, then. I'll carpool with Liam," Scarlett said. When we got in the car, I opened the back door and sat down. I pulled out my phone and started doing practice questions. My study plan was 2 hours a day. Today had been busy, and I hadn't had a minute to study. I had to make the most of my time. The 30-minute drive home would be for review, and I'd only need another hour and a half of studying once I got home. I focused, working through a few questions, then realized the car was eerily quiet. "Liam, you were so dismissive when I was talking to you earlier." "Just If you keep doing that, I'll be mad." After a long silence, Scarlett spoke up. "Liam's tired today, Scarlett. Don't distract him while he's driving." Scarlett said no more. When she got out of the car, she slammed the door, clearly expressing her displeasure. After getting home, I went straight to my home office. An hour and a half later, when I emerged, Liam was already in the guest bedroom. I breathed a sigh of relief. Since our argument, we'd been sleeping separately. Liam was always too proud. If I didn't humble myself, he wouldn't make the first move. Which was fine by me. The next morning, I came out of my room to find Liam already awake. "Go wash up." "No rush, I'll wait for you to go to work." He sat on the couch, looking at me. "No need. I'll carpool with my colleague." As I headed out the door, he followed me. "Just take my car. Don't bother others." "It's no bother. I pay for it." When Liam first got his car, He used to drive me to work for a while. Then he found it annoying. Our companies weren't conveniently located. He had to detour a bit. He felt it was a waste of time. You can just take the subway from now on. I want to sleep in a bit in the mornings. That was his final word. As for picking me up after work, he had countless excuses: overtime, dinner with colleagues, hanging out with friends. Basically, he couldn't pick me up on time. Later, a colleague asked in the chat group if anyone lived nearby and wanted a ride, for a fee. We lived on the same route. So every day, I hitched a ride with him, saving time, and it was more convenient than the subway. In the afternoons, if I took his car home, it would cost me an extra 200 yuan a month. I wasn't in a hurry in the afternoons, so I chose the subway home, saving a bit of money. Liam walked me to the complex gate, watching me get into my colleague's car. As soon as I arrived at work, I got a text from him. "You're the only one who carpools with that colleague." I replied, "Yeah, just the two of us from the company. It's convenient. From now on, I'll drive you to work. Other colleagues will talk if two young people carpool every day. No one talks. Besides, didn't you want to sleep in? Starting tomorrow, I'll wake up at the same time as you. I've already paid him for this month, so next month." He didn't reply on the other end. I started focusing on work. During lunchtime, Liam texted again. I opened it. It was a photo of food in the cafeteria. "Looks pretty good, huh?" I didn't reply. He texted again. "What did you eat for lunch?" I didn't understand. Was Liam sharing his daily life with me? This used to be my thing. I scrolled up through our chat history. Most of the messages were from me, unilaterally. Because I liked Liam, I wanted to share everything with him. A cute dog on the street, a delicious drink, getting scolded or praised by my boss, tripping on the sidewalk, finding a celebrity's check-in spot online. All the little things in my daily life, I loved sharing with him. In the beginning, we'd exchange messages back and forth. Gradually, it became me typing a wall of text, and he'd only reply to the last message, usually with 2 or 3 words. I knew a lot of what I enthusiastically shared. He probably didn't even bother to read. From initial disappointment, I eventually got used to it. Who told me I liked him? Who told me I loved him so pathetically? Finally, my enthusiasm for sharing faded. I no longer wanted to text him. Looking at my most recent messages, I realized I hadn't actively texted him for an entire week. Today was Friday, and a colleague suggested a group dinner. I used to never join these gatherings. When I first started working, I'd occasionally go to dinners with colleagues. Liam usually ate out with his college friends, only coming home for dinner 2 or 3 times a week. Once, I was having dinner with colleagues when Liam came home early. He called, asking where I was. I felt a pang of guilt, knowing he rarely ate at home, and I was missing a chance. After that, to avoid missing any opportunity to eat with him, I stopped joining colleague dinners. Every day after work, I'd rush home, cook dinner, and wait for Liam, even if he sometimes didn't show up. Because of this, even after working in the same office for years, my relationship with colleagues was superficial. "Where are we eating tonight?" I asked the colleague next to me. "I'm in." My colleague gasped in surprise. "Oh my God, Jess, you're coming. No one can bail tonight. It's rare we get everyone together." As quitting time approached, Liam called. "Jess, I'll pick you up later. We can go grocery shopping. We haven't had dinner at home together in ages." "No need. I have dinner plans with colleagues tonight." Maybe it was because I hadn't gone to any gatherings in a while. I was notoriously hard to get to agree. "No, you can't refuse this time," I cut him off. This dinner was with everyone in my department, and everyone was excited. I'd even had a little wine. Halfway through dinner, Liam called again, asking what time I'd be done and if he should pick me up. No need to pick me up. I don't even know what time we'll finish. Everyone's really excited. You should just go to sleep first. Where are you eating? I'll come wait outside. It's late, and it's not safe for a girl to go home alone. I was somewhat incredulous at Liam's words. He was the one who'd refused to pick me up from the airport in the middle of the night when I returned late from a business trip. He'd said he had to wake up early for work the next day and couldn't stay up late. He'd even said the airport was crowded and I could always get a cab in the middle of the night, just share my location and I'd be fine. And now, before 9 p.m, he was worried about me being out late alone. Do men change this much? At 9:30 p.m, Liam texted, saying he was outside the restaurant. The dinner ended closer to 10 p.m. As I stepped out, I saw him waiting. "Did you drink?" he asked, helping me. "Just a little wine." My tolerance was low. Even one glass made me tipsy. Liam helped me into the passenger seat and buckled me in. He sat in the car, not starting it immediately, but leaning over and hugging me. "So this is what it feels like to wait for someone. I'm sorry. Jess, I've made you wait so many times before. That won't happen again." I frowned, pushing him away. "Just drive. I need to get home and sleep." He chuckled softly, ruffling my hair. "With that kind of tolerance, you still dare to drink? I really need to keep a closer eye on you from now on. Don't want you getting sold off." Liam was like a different person, as if someone had swapped his soul. Our roles had completely reversed. He became the clingy one, picking me up punctually from work every day, skipping friends' gatherings to insist on dinner at home. When I told him I needed to study and didn't have the time or energy to cook, he claimed he'd do it. And he actually did. Every day, he'd come home, head straight to the grocery store, then to the kitchen. I'd always assumed Liam couldn't cook, since he'd never made a single meal for me. Turns out, his cooking wasn't bad at all. It wasn't that he couldn't cook, he just wouldn't cook for me. Scarlett had even posted a picture of him making porridge on her social media once. Now, Liam was eager to show off all his culinary skills. No two meals were the same. After dinner, he wouldn't even let me wash dishes, urging me to go study. Liam's sudden, meticulous care made me feel uneasy, like I was walking on hot coals. I didn't feel comfortable. Instead, the pressure doubled. While I studied, he'd constantly open my office door, asking if I wanted water or fruit. He was bothering me. I was annoyed. So I started lying, saying I had to work late every day and wouldn't be home until 8 p.m. In reality, I'd stay at the office to study after work. Without him around, I could finally have some peace and quiet. Today, after work, I pulled out my study materials again. Half an hour later, the entire building lost power. I asked the security guard, and he said he didn't know which power line was affected, but they were sending someone to check. I packed up my things and headed to the coffee shop across the street, ordered a coffee, and sat there for 2 hours, working on my assignments. When I was done, I walked back to my office building, just across the street. I'd told Liam I was working late recently and he didn't need to pick me up. Yet, every day at 8 p.m, he'd still be there. When I got back to the building, his car door opened. Lately, he'd been talking a lot, constantly finding topics to chat about, asking about my work, my studies, my colleagues. Even if I only gave vague answers, his enthusiasm never wavered. But tonight, he didn't say a word the whole way home. It was a welcome chance to doze off for a bit. As I was changing my shoes inside, Liam finally broke the silence. "You haven't actually been working late these past few days, have you?" I froze, then admitted frankly, "No, I haven't. Every day after work, I drive straight to your company and wait downstairs. I usually get there around 6:30 p.m, and I sit in the car for an hour and a half, waiting for you to come down. Today was the same, but just as I arrived, the power went out. I saw you leave the building before I could call you. Then you crossed the street. I followed you. I watched you study at the coffee shop until 8 p.m. Oh, why didn't you call me?" I felt a little embarrassed. "So you haven't been working late. You've been staying at the office to study, right? Why didn't you come home to study, Jess? We're not even married yet, and you already hate coming home. You'd rather stay at the office than see me. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. I can fix it." Since he'd brought it up, I bit my lip. "All right. I think we need to talk. About us. Jess, I just remembered, I have a business trip tomorrow. Liam suddenly cut me off. I have to be up early tomorrow. Let's talk when I get back. I don't know if it was my imagination, but his eyes seemed to hold a hint of fear. I sighed. All right. Have you packed? Not yet. Then you should get to it. I'm going to shower first. In the past, I'd always packed for Liam when he went on business trips, but I no longer had the patience. The next morning, watching Liam carry his suitcase out the door, I felt a strange sense of lightness. For a few days, I wouldn't have to face him. I could enjoy my time alone. On the third day of Liam's business trip, I got a call from Scarlett during my lunch break. She said Liam had a bad cold and was on an 4 drip at the downtown hospital. During my break, I called a cab and went to the hospital. Liam looked pale, leaning weakly against the 4 stand. He genuinely looked very sick. Aren't you on a business trip? I approached him. Liam opened his eyes, and his first reaction was relief, followed by a flicker of guilt. Jess, why are you here? Who told you? I told her, Scarlett said, entering with a cup of warm water. She looked at me, self-righteously. What have you done to Liam, Jess? He's afraid to come home. He's been staying at Mark's place for days. How can you be so domineering? You're just too much. I looked at Liam. You said you were on a business trip. Liam didn't dare meet my gaze. His voice was weak. I'm sorry, Jess. I lied to you. I wasn't on a business trip. I understood. He was running away. He knew there was a problem between us. Last time, he'd exposed my lie about working late, and I tried to use that opportunity to clear things up. But he'd used a business trip as an excuse to avoid it. He'd rather stay at a friend's house than face me, or our problems head on. Liam, running away isn't a solution, I said. You know we need to talk. Okay, can we wait until I'm feeling better, and then talk when I get home? His eyes were pleading. All right, I nodded. Then you rest. I'm going to work. Jess, aren't you staying? He looked at me, pathetic. It's just a cold, I said coldly. You're an adult. You don't need to act like this. At my words, Liam stiffened, looking up at me. From the hurt in his eyes, I could tell he understood. These were the exact words he had once said to me. Last winter, I'd had a fever of 101.3 degrees Fahrenheit. That night, I was on an 4 drip at the hospital, looking around. Everyone had someone with them. Only I was alone. I called Liam, asking him to come to the hospital and stay with me. He coldly refused. You're an adult, you don't need to act like this. It's just a fever. Can't you get in 4 without me? On the other end, I heard loud music. Scarlett's loud yell, Liam, your queen is here. He was at karaoke with friends, while I was gravely ill. In that moment, my heart turned to ice. I only blamed myself. After a few days of silent treatment, he'd sweet-talked me into forgiving him. Liam must have been thinking about that too. His voice trembled. I'm sorry, Jess. His own words, like a sword, had pierced my heart, but he hadn't known. Now, the sword turned, piercing him, and he finally understood the meaning of truly hurtful words, chilling to the bone. Scarlett, beside him, couldn't stand it. She looked at Liam, heartbroken. You're sick. She's your girlfriend, and she doesn't care. She's just going to leave you here. Why are you apologizing to her? I smiled lightly. You see, you're not lacking in people who care about you. Of course, I'm not as cold and heartless as her. I'll take good care of Liam. Scarlett said, head held high. I had nothing more to say. I turned and left. That evening, Liam didn't come home. He texted me, saying he was still at Mark's place for now, and would come home to talk seriously once he was better. In truth, I had already decided about our relationship. Breaking up. The 2 words were easy to say, but making the decision was incredibly difficult. I had been with Liam for a long time, starting from our junior year in college. We'd graduated over 5 years ago. We'd been in love for 7 years. The first few years, we were truly in love, and it was incredibly sweet. During our college days, we explored every corner of this city. The city witnessed our beautiful past. Every scenic spot held our memories. During graduation season, we helped each other revise our resumes, went to big job fairs together. Once we secured jobs, we ran up a mountain, drank beer, and sang loudly. When we rented our first place, we meticulously decorated our small home, dreaming of a beautiful future. Every day back then was filled with happiness. When did things start to change between us? Perhaps it was when Liam's heart began to waver. More precisely, it was when Scarlett reappeared in our lives. I'd heard Scarlett's name in college. Back then, Liam and I were in the same club, and our relationship was pretty good. I heard his friends say he was pursuing a girl named Scarlett. But since Scarlett and I weren't in the same major, I'd never met her. In my eyes, Liam was outstanding, exceptionally capable. By his sophomore year, he was already the head of our club, groomed by the student council president to be his successor. His academic performance was excellent. He received scholarships every semester. He was also incredibly loyal. Once, a club member made a mistake while organizing a student council event. The main responsibility actually lay with another classmate in our department, but Liam stepped up and took all the blame. Whenever I had a problem, I'd ask him, and he'd patiently help me. I think my admiration for Liam began there, beyond his good looks and kind heart. He was tall, handsome, flawless. In my eyes, Liam was perfect, someone I couldn't help but fall for. But even a perfect person like that pursued Scarlett for 2 years without success. After Scarlett started dating someone else, Liam was visibly disheartened. His smiles held a bitter edge. I felt indignant on his behalf. Why wouldn't Scarlett like such an outstanding person? One ordinary evening during junior year, after a student council meeting, I plucked up the courage to confess to Liam. What made me happy was that he agreed. After we started dating, Liam was happier, smiled more. From his eyes, I knew he liked me too. Near graduation, we coincidentally ran into Scarlett on campus. I didn't know Scarlett. I saw him stare, dumbfounded, at the girl. I asked, and only then did I learn that she was the girl who had repeatedly rejected him, the one he wanted but couldn't have. Scarlett was holding hands with her boyfriend at the time. I somewhat understood why she had rejected him. Scarlett's boyfriend wasn't handsome and was short, only as tall as her. But from head to toe, he was decked out in designer brands. Turns out, Liam lost out on that point. He was good at everything else, except his family background was too ordinary. He worked his way up through his own efforts. His parents were just ordinary salaried workers. That handbag Scarlett carried cost tens of thousands, something Liam couldn't give her. After graduation, Scarlett moved away. 3 years ago, she returned to this city and began to frequently appear in our lives as Liam's friend. Liam was gradually distracted by her influence in our relationship. At any given moment, a phone call from Scarlett could pull him away from my side. I'd argued, I'd thrown fits, but it only pushed Liam further away. He grew increasingly impatient with me. I wasn't thinking about breaking up, I just couldn't accept it. I hadn't done anything wrong. Why should I give up? No matter how much I argued or screamed, I never uttered the words break up. I was afraid that once I said them, if Liam actually agreed, there would be no turning back. I knew I still loved Liam, I was still reluctant to end it. I thought I would always be by his side like this, but I never expected there would be a day when I'd be completely exhausted. Love, once so overflowing, was slowly, gradually seeping out until nothing was left. Turns out, my love for him could also run dry one day. When I realized he no longer impacted my emotions, I knew I was no longer in love. I felt no regret, only relief. The decision to break up was the result of careful thought during this period. If there's no love, there's no need to continue being together. I once thought we'd be together forever, marry, have children, grow old hand in hand. I dreamed of a beautiful future countless times. But, stopping the bleeding in time, that wasn't my idea. I'm 28. I'm not young anymore. Maybe I won't meet someone I love so deeply again. But so what? Life isn't just about love. At 28, I'm not too old either. It's not too late to adjust myself and start over. I have no regrets about this relationship. We started beautifully. I experienced love. I loved deeply. I gave, and I also received. I don't feel my youth was wasted. This experience made me more mature, calmer. My love could be picked up, and it could also be put down. The next day, Liam still didn't come home. I didn't know if he was still avoiding me. I planned to go find him after work and talk honestly, but then I got a call from my mom. She said for the past few days, my dad had been complaining about leg pain, and x-rays at the local hospital hadn't revealed anything. I was a little worried. Tomorrow, Mom and Dad, you two come here. I'll take Dad for a full checkup at a bigger hospital. It's more reliable. Mom, you should get a full checkup too. My parents lived in a small town an hour's drive from the city. I asked for 2 days off. At 9 a.m., I went to the train station to pick them up. Dad's checkup was fine. Thankfully nothing serious, just needed to be careful with his health. Mom's checkup results were also good. With one free Friday plus the weekend, I decided to take them sightseeing. I booked a hotel and took them out for 3 days, taking many photos. On the way home with them, I picked a family photo and posted it on my social media. As soon as I posted it, Liam called. Your folks are here. Yeah. Why didn't you tell me? Why should I tell you? Can you come with me to take them out? Didn't you say you don't know how to talk to older people and aren't ready to meet my parents? The other end was silent. Let's meet and talk tonight. Dragging this out won't solve anything, I said, then hung up. Liam and I had been together for 7 years, and we'd never met each other's parents. At first, we were too young to think deeply about it. After I turned 25, I started thinking about marriage. During the Lunar New Year, I tentatively sounded out Liam, saying I wanted to go to his hometown with him. He refused, saying it was too sudden and he hadn't told his parents yet. Last year, when my parents came to visit, I wanted Liam to come with us, but he refused again. He said he wasn't good at dealing with older people and wasn't ready to meet parents. He even accused me of constantly pressuring him. After that, I stopped bringing up meeting each other's parents. At the train station, with some time before their train, I chatted with my parents. As the departure time neared, I took them to the ticket gate. Jess. A familiar voice rang out behind me. I turned and saw Liam carrying gifts in both hands. Auntie, Uncle, I'm Jess's boyfriend. I've been busy these past few days. I'm sorry I couldn't join you, he said with a bright smile. These are some health supplements I bought for you too, a small token of my regard. Please don't mind. My parents looked at him in surprise, then at me, unsure if it was true. Mom, Dad, it's time. You two hurry. I'll explain everything later. I urged them into the station. Turning back, my expression changed. Liam, who told you to come here? I'm your boyfriend. It would be rude if I didn't meet your folks when they came. Now you know what's rude. You didn't say that before. Jess, I wasn't mature before. I was wrong. I'm sorry. My behavior today was too rash. I looked at him silently. Go home. I have something to say to you. Back home, I sat down and got straight to the point. Before, I was deceiving myself, pretending not to see the problems between us. But the truth is, things have been unstable between us for a long time. I've thought seriously about it during this time, and I've made a decision. Liam, Jess, let's get married. Liam suddenly interrupted me, pulling a beautiful box from his pocket. He opened it. Inside was a dazzling diamond ring. I was stunned. He continued, the past few days I haven't been home, I've been thinking about proposing to you. I went to several places to buy this diamond ring. It's the style you like. The heart-shaped diamond ring in front of me was indeed the style I liked. I remembered once, I saw this design in a magazine. At the time, I held it up to Liam and asked if it was beautiful. I was just testing his attitude towards marriage. He glanced at it indifferently, pushed the magazine away, and said coldly, ugly as hell. I was so disappointed then, because I genuinely wanted to marry him. I even dreamed of him proposing. Now, he was actually proposing, but I felt no joy. Waiting has its limits. Past the deadline, it becomes worthless. Jess, will you marry me? Liam looked at me tenderly. No answer. Jess seemed to have predicted it. Liam wasn't surprised. He managed a strained smile, looking as if he was about to cry. Is it about your birthday that night? I didn't understand what he meant. He said with difficulty, on your birthday, I stood you up. The next morning, you didn't make me breakfast anymore. You didn't text me anymore. When I went out with friends, you didn't call and ask me to come home. Even when Scarlett came close to me, you weren't angry. Everything changed from that night. I shook my head. That night was just the last straw. Before that, we had problems, accumulating day by day, until they exploded. You're right. I know there were many things I didn't do well before. It's right for you to be angry, Jess. I just beg you, please give me one chance. I'll change. I'll be the boyfriend you're satisfied with, until you agree to marry me. His voice choked. Every morning, I'll make you breakfast, drive you to work. My passenger seat will never be occupied by anyone else. You like to eat shrimp. From now on, I'll take responsibility for peeling them. On holidays, I'll travel with you. Wherever you want to go, we'll go. I'll cut down on hanging out with friends and come home for dinner every night. I'll never forget your birthday, and I'll never miss any anniversary. I blinked at him, not saying a word. He grew more anxious. I didn't handle my relationship with Scarlett well. From now on, I won't see her. WeChat, phone. I'll delete all contact methods. I sighed softly. So you see, you know very well what you did wrong. As a boyfriend, you know what shouldn't be done, what's inappropriate towards your girlfriend. But you did it all anyway. When I questioned you, you turned it back on me. It's simply because you didn't care about me. You relied on my love for you, disregarded my feelings, disrespected me. You thought no matter how you treated me, I wouldn't leave you. That's what they call the loved one fears nothing. I'm sorry. He just kept apologizing. We don't love each other anymore. Breaking up is the best outcome. No, Jess. I still love you. I've always loved you. I'm sorry. I don't feel your love. All I feel is your coldness, indifference, and disrespect. I think the person you love is Scarlett. For her, you met every demand, shielded her completely, always available when called. That's true love. You also thought you still had feelings for her, but it was all an illusion. Only when I felt you were about to leave me did I realize that the person I've always loved is you. The thought of losing you causes me immense pain. Scarlett has dated so many guys, but I've never felt that way. And you, just riding in another man's car, I was already jealous. I was foolish, slow to realize my feelings for you. For Scarlett, it was just a little resentment, my damned pride, and a man's bad habit that made me unable to control the messed up feelings in my heart. I don't love you anymore, I said calmly. I don't want to keep hurting myself by being with you. I'm a good person. I deserve a good relationship. I deserve someone who loves me with all their heart. Liam desperately clutched his head, squatting on the floor. I was about to go pack my things when the doorbell rang. When I opened the door, Scarlett rushed in, carrying a bag, distraught. Liam, you deleted my WeChat. You won't answer my calls. How could you do this to me? Scarlett, tears streaming down her face, squatted down opposite Liam. My pipes burst at home. Only you can take me in. Before I could even speak, she suddenly looked up, confidently glaring at me. This is Liam's house. You have no right to object. I didn't say I objected. Do whatever you want, I said, then went to my room to pack. Get out. Liam's roar echoed from the living room. Liam, you yelled at me. Scarlett shrieked in disbelief. You've never been angry with me before. How dare you? I'm not going to say it a second time. My house doesn't welcome you. Get out. A few minutes of silence. Then I heard the front door slam shut. I only took the essential clothes, leaving everything else behind. 2 suitcases in total. As I pulled my suitcases out, I saw only Liam in the living room. He rushed towards me, clutching my suitcase. Don't go, Jess. Please don't do this in vain. I calmly pulled my suitcase away. As I stepped out the door, his voice came from behind me. You're never going to forgive me, are you? I turned back. Goodbye, Liam. Goodbye, the person I once loved with all my heart. With this farewell, I hope we go our separate ways and never meet again.